Hello, Katie Hunt here, your spiritual life coach for the spiritual girls, gays, and theys. And today I have the privilege to talk to you about the small task of how to change your life. So let's get into it. If you want to change your life, you need to change your thoughts, then your habits. See, your life is a manifestation of your habits. So if your habits are a mess, your life is a mess. But that makes it easy because then that means all we got to do is just change our habits. And that's easy, right? Probably not. But over time, we can form new habits so that we can grow into the version of ourselves that we see, that we idolize, that we really want to grow into. So I'm going to take you back to a time way long ago, it seems now, where I was miserable and I was really going down a dark path. And I was really good friends with this person, and she would tell me, she was in the spiritual world. She kept telling me about Reiki, and I was like, that stuff is not real. So I didn't believe in it, and I was a total skeptic. And then I reached a breaking point where I thought, what else is there? Like, it can't really hurt to try it. So I went. And to say that my life was forever changed on that table would be an understatement. I was completely transformed, enlightened, and I was never going to be the same after that. This experience was like something I had never had before, which opened my eyes to this brand new world of possibilities that I had never considered. Maybe there is a reality out there where I'm happy and not going down this dark path. Maybe there is an opportunity for me to walk a path of light. And oh my God, what would that look like? With this experience, for me personally, it brought an entire new world of possibilities along with it. I had felt something so much deeper than I ever had before. And I felt connection and support with something that was bigger than myself, which took me out of my own story and out of my own ideas of limitations. And this little moment of insight and connection was a big enough leaping point for me to begin to explore a brand new way of life, to explore new thoughts, and ultimately form brand new habits, which led me to a completely different life than what I had already been living. So from my own transformation and the transformation that I've had with my clients, I have determined a few keys on how to best change your life. Now, this is not a comprehensive list. As we know, everyone's different, and depending on how you want to change your life, your habits need to be a bit different. But based in my experience, this is what really worked for me and were really big, heavy hitters in the grand scheme of things. All of the other habits came along with them, but these are the pillars that I want to talk with you today. So before we get into these keys, I want you to think about and visualize this future version of yourself. Maybe it's you in a year from now, 5 years from now, or even 25 years from now. And just kind of view a day in that person's life. What do they eat? Who are their friends? Do they gossip? What do they wear? What do they do for work? What are their habits? And just begin to understand this person and just get a very clear picture on what it is that future that you want looks like. Now, when you begin this transformation and you begin to overhaul your life, please be gentle with yourself because it's really easy to get overwhelmed. But taking one small step per day over time will lead you to a giant leap. And if you can just focus on one thing per day, and not a huge, overwhelming change, you're more likely to stay on track. So if you begin to feel overwhelmed, feel free to take a step back because this should be fun. The point of us being here on this earth is to experience a human life, and a huge part of that is joy. So if the habits that you're trying to create, or you're feeling like there's just too much and you're starting to really trigger yourself and feel really bad, take a step back and just be gentle. And just take one tiny step per day instead of trying to overload yourself right in the beginning. Sometimes we have these really huge life-changing experiences like I had, that we kind of hit a rock bottom, and the momentum from hitting the rock bottom has propelled us forward in huge ways where we're able to make a whole bunch of big changes all at once. But other times we don't really necessarily have that type of momentum. So we still have to be gentle with ourselves and continue to just take those little steps forward. Okay, now that I've beaten that to a pulp, let's get into the keys of what it is that you can do to change your life. Now, I can honestly say that meditation is probably the thing that has changed my life the absolute most. For me, I dove right into meditation and I couldn't sit for more than 30 seconds to 2 minutes at first. It was excruciating. I was one of those people who was like, no, you don't understand. I can't be alone in my mind by myself. Completely resistant to it. But once I started meditation and I tried all sorts of different type of meditation, I really began to fall in love with it. And over time, I did find that these little tiny changes began to be reflected in me. Like, for example, I was no longer angry sitting in traffic, and somebody annoying me or poking at me actually didn't bother me at all. And I was able to be around irritating people and it not get to me. And I also just have adopted this like very chill vibe about me, way more than I was before. I was very high strung and very easily agitated and things like that. So I cannot stress meditation enough. I am very much of the approach of meditation that, again, you have to enjoy it. So dive in, try all sorts of different types of meditation. You can keep it traditional in the Eastern philosophy, or you can also explore a little bit in the Western side of things where people have taken meditation and turned it into something that's more easily digestible for Western people. So I like to keep a nice balance of both, and depending on how I'm feeling in that day, I'll lean to one side or the other. Maybe you're a fairy meditation person, or maybe you're a forest meditation, or maybe you're a chanter. Just dig in and try it out and see what works for you and leave what doesn't. Body movement. We are talking much more than just the gym. I'm finding that intuitive movement is a very crucial piece in my energy hygiene and my overall happiness. So that can be dancing or walking, yoga, or any sort of movement that you like. And if you want to take it up a notch, you can be more intentional and really focus on the present moment and really solidify that mind-body connection. If you are truly being present in the moment with your body and feeling how it feels to move in each moment, and you're not allowing your mind to really come in and take over, I find that body movement is a really great way to get out of your own way and almost stop the negative momentum from continuing. It's almost like a nice reset. The next thing that I would like to talk with you about is drinking water. You got to drink water, you got to hydrate. Water is crucial. I don't even need to explain this to you, but drink lots of water before you reach for another cup of coffee or those chips, or you start to rage on somebody. Just take a sip of water. Maybe you're thirsty. That's what I find is when I'm reaching for that bag of chips, it's usually just because I'm thirsty. So drink lots of water. You can even speak messages into your water. Water carries vibration. There was a study that was done on just that. They froze water and they spoke nice things into one and mean things into another, and they came out looking significantly different. So if you can speak into your water and tell your water what it is that you want from it, I want to feel beautiful and vital and healthy, or I want to feel productive and excited about the day, I want to feel clear. You can speak your intentions or your affirmations into your water, and it's like doing a little bit of magic in your routine, which makes life a little bit more fun. All right, and I would be doing you all a disservice if I didn't mention this next one. So energy work, energy healing work. I don't know how people go their entire lives without ever experiencing some sort of energy work. You got to remove the bad stuff that feels bad so that the light and that the new inspiration, that the new stuff can come in, and that feels way better and way more inspiring than carrying around all of this extra baggage. And if energy work is not your thing, then maybe your thing is therapy, and you just need to kind of go and talk it out so that you can move on from it and transform from there, from a more clean slate. But, if you are interested in energy work, you can explore Reiki with me, or maybe you're more of a body work person, or maybe you just want to go for massages. But having the intention of letting go of old energy to make room for new energy is really wonderful. And that allows you to increase your vibration, which allows you to become a better match for things that are more high vibrational too. And those really exciting dreams that you have that you've been putting out. So energy work is a vital one. Another thing that I did that really helped me get out of an anxious and furious mind was rewiring my brain for happiness. And if you are interested in that, basically all that is holding on to positive emotions more intentionally and for a longer period of time, so that your brain can begin to hardwire to be more tilted, let's say, to the positive aspects of life. As humans, we are wired more for negativity. It's a survival mechanism, but you can rewire it for more positive outcomes. And if this is something that you're interested in, you're wanting to explore the science of a little bit, I would recommend this book actually. It's Hardwiring for Happiness by Rick Hanson. As you can see, I have some notes in here in the front. So that book was very transformative for me. Anytime something good happens, I intentionally hold on to it and spread it throughout my body. And I really did find that helped me to settle into a more optimistic outlook. So this next one is something you've probably heard a lot about, and I gotta throw it in there too. Positive affirmations. And because we're all different, we all need affirmations that look a little bit different. You might be somebody who needs to ask it in the form of a question, like, why am I so successful? Or you might be somebody who needs to throw in some gratitude in there. Or you might be somebody who just likes to repeat things to yourself that are more positive, like I am beautiful, I am wonderful, that are I am statements. So play around with affirmations, see which works for you, what really fits, and allow yourself to be flexible with it. I know that some of us really like to record ourselves and listen to ourselves saying these affirmations. Some of us like to write them down. Some of us like to just repeat them every morning into the mirror. But my recommendation is that you try all sorts of different things and continue with the one that makes you feel most excited. Because the most important part of saying these affirmations is attaching them to an emotion, to an energy, to a frequency. Because if you're just repeating things in the mirror like a robot, it's not actually going to do much for you. It'll go much further, much faster if you tie in the emotion. So get excited about it, incorporate music if you like, or jumping or dancing, whatever it is. And there's an abundance of different ways that you can do affirmations. And if you are interested in that, please feel free to send me a note, because I have a ton of tools that can help you find the affirmations that are truly effective for you. Okay, and this last one, you've done so good sticking around this far, is commitment. If you are serious about change, it is so important that you commit to it in a big and bold way. Any time in my life that I made a decision and I really committed to it was the time that I had the biggest return on that investment. For example, I really wanted a new job, so I hired a career coach, and I had been trying to find a job for like 5 years before that, and it just really wasn't working for me. But I got sick of spinning my wheels, and I looked outside of myself for help, somebody who was more of an expert in this field, who could just come in, be my guide, and somebody that I could really commit to. And I did, and I got a job within like 2 weeks. It was crazy, the amount of how quickly that turnaround happened. So if you are serious, invest in yourself, invest into a commitment. And if that's not something that you can afford right now, I totally get that, but there are still ways that you can commit. Find a friend that you can be accountability buddies to, and have a touch base every other week or so, where you can touch base, talk about the things that you did well, talk about the things that you need to do differently going forward, and just be there for each other. That is a very important piece of changing your life, is to have not only someone who can hold you accountable to the things that you are really trying to do that may always not be the most enjoyable, like exercise. But also you have a cheerleader and somebody in your corner who really believes in you and knows that you can do it, because God bless our friends and family, but they love you. And so if you're doing something big and scary, they may have a hard time understanding it. And that's not their fault. They're just trying to look out for you. So if you're going to commit, make sure that you have somebody in your corner to cheer you on, like a professional, like a friend, or like a coach, like myself. So, question time. Who is it that you aspire to be? Who is that person? What are their hobbies? What do they like to do? And what is the thing that is going to move the needle most for you today towards that version of yourself? What is the aspect of that person's life that is most important? That's something that you can take action on right now. Take some time and reflect on that. And I would like to thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you are ready to change your life, I would really recommend a coach. I know that I'm biased, but I am also somebody who has benefited from this type of commitment in the past. Please feel free to come by katiehunt.ca. I have linked it in the description box below to not only book in for your complimentary discovery call, but also to snag your energy clearing meditation that is absolutely free and will absolutely blow your socks off in the best way. So, thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe this video so that we can expand this feminine empire and take over the world. I am so excited to have you here with me. I am so excited for this life change for you, and I know that you can do this. Sending you so much love. Take care.